Hello everybody and welcome to another one of our short training videos. In each of these videos we cover something related to leadership and more importantly to becoming a successful or a more successful leader. Now let me ask you an important question. Where do you consider prioritization on your list of priorities of work during the day? Let me repeat that. Where do you consider prioritization in the list of priorities that you have for yourself? Let me know your thoughts and comments. Leave me a note saying whether priorities are something that are easy for you, natural, you don't do, you know nothing about. You see, because being able to prioritize is incredibly important for a leader. I know lots of people who say, I don't prioritize. I just get up, I know what I have to do, and I get it done. I would challenge them, as I challenge myself. You see, you can't carry around the level of information and detail to get something done and to get it done well if you don't put it down. In whatever form you want to use, whether it's electronic, written, or whatever. But you have to write it down, and I'll show you through what I'm going to share with you just now. So my name is Chris Igwe. I have over 35 years experience growing, leading and training and developing teams across 5 countries and also across Europe, Middle East and Africa. And through these videos, the idea is really to help share some of those insights for you to gather in your journey. So if they resonate with you, please feel free to like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any videos, and you can look at the past videos as well. So leaders prioritize. Prioritization, that's a start. But then you may say, well, why? I said at the beginning that some people don't prioritize, and I'll show you towards the end what they're missing out on. So why? Well, the first is to focus. You see, as a leader, inevitably there are so many different things coming at you from your team, your staff, your clients, your shareholders, the market in general. Everything is coming at you incredibly fast. Now you need to be able to then say to yourself, what are the things that I most need to do? And when do I need to do them? And by when do I have to complete them? So by prioritizing, you then improve, you increase your ability to focus, which is so critical for a leader to be able to do. The second is you reduce stress. You reduce stress because you no longer have all these things floating around in your head. No matter how good you are, and yeah, some people can do it, I can do it, but I still use an activity list to prioritize. You reduce stress because you're in control. You've taken charge of the situation. It's not the external forces controlling you, it's you controlling from the inside out. So you reduce stress. And by nature, you increase your productivity. As a leader, productivity and high productivity is really important. The ability to get through things in a shorter space of time than many other people you know. The ability to listen faster, understand quicker, make quicker decisions, decide which strategies to adopt and implement. Productivity increases when you focus, you reduce stress, and then you get on with the priorities that you set yourself. So you say, okay, well that's great, I understand the why. Well, what about the how? And how is just as important as why. Because it's easy, and there are many ways, so I don't have the absolute answer. There are many techniques, many approaches. The first thing for you to ask yourself is, what is the best time of day for you to perform those tasks? See, for some people, it's in the morning. They're most alert in the morning. For some, they are late risers, or they don't really get up to speed until they've had their first 1, 2, 3 coffees in the morning, then they're better in the afternoon. Or there are those who go through the day and in the evening they're at their most productive. Now, depending on how you plan your life, working in the evening is obviously not great if you've got a family, but everybody to their own. But what is the time when you are at your peak state? When you're at your most energetically vibrant, your most creative, your most aware, the most energy that you have? Whatever that time of day is, that's when you should be doing the most important activities. Write them down. As I've just said, I know a lot of people challenge this. Some say, well, I know what I've got to do. I get up and I do it. That may be so, but I'll show you on the next page why that may not be the best solution. So you write down what your activities and tasks are. What are the things that you need to do? And structure them. Because structure is all about focus and it's all about productivity. And then when you've done that, you have a review. So you review those priorities, often the night before, so that the next day when you get to the office or you're at your desk or wherever you are traveling, you say, okay, tomorrow I've got these tasks to do and this order of priority. So you review it and you establish priorities within those priorities. Now, there are many ways of approaching this, and one that I've used, well, I've actually changed and evolved over the years, is what's called the Eisenhower matrix. Call it what you like. It's a very simple but very clear method that allows you to get through the why. And it's this. And the first is, I would start off by saying, and it's important before we go into the table, the chart, I work on the basis of 6 priorities, 6 activities, which are yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily. In other words, the 6 goals or objectives. We'll come to goals in another video. But let's say I've got 6 goals or 6 priorities for this year. What are they? I'll list those out. Then I'll say to myself, okay, great, but what about the next month? So these 4 weeks coming up, let's assume it's the first of the month. What do I want to have achieved by the 31st? What are the 6 top priorities that need to be achieved? And you list those out. And then you say, well, during the week, what are the 6 things that you absolutely most want to do? And then the day, so when you've had that review the night before, what are the 6 top priorities for today that you want to do? And with that in mind, you then take it to this level and you say, on this axis, you've got important, so least important to most important. And on this axis, you've got urgent. Most urgent, the least urgent. This is your most important quadrant here. Most important and the most urgent. So this is your top priority. If you take my example of 6, at least one of those 6, maybe 2, or maybe all 6, it doesn't matter, are in here. Those are the ones that are important and urgent and need to get done first. The second quadrant, I would say, is focus on this one, which is it's important, or they are important, but they're not urgent. The reason they're not urgent is probably because they have time ahead of them. Imagine it's the month option. So today, last night I looked at it, today I'm ready for it, but I've got time to do this before the end of the month. Then you put a date in there, you schedule it. So it's important, but it's not urgent as far as today is concerned. When it comes to the day in question, that then moves to here when you have to do it. The other one is, it's not as important, but it is urgent. Generally speaking, you can delegate those. Let me give you an example. Let's say a client wants to speak to you about something. Let's assume it's not catastrophic, but they're a client, therefore they're important, and you treat them with respect. So it's urgent in the sense that the CEO has phoned you, he wants you to speak to him, but it's not important in terms of you making that appointment. You get your PA to do it, or somebody else, maybe another person in your team. But they take care of it and set up the meeting, which is important, but less important than the other things. It's urgent and therefore needs to be fixed as a date sooner rather than later. And then there's this area here which I suggest a lot of people play around in, which is they are items that are neither important nor urgent, but they're sometimes the easiest ones to deal with, aren't they? The areas where it's more fun. So this could be, not necessarily, but it could be a report that you've received. The report might be important, might be interesting. Worst case scenario, because we all get lots of newsletters and whatever, you either delete, ignore, or eliminate, depending on your system and process. So that's the way in which it will help you clarify your thought and your mind about prioritization. What are your top priorities? Urgent and important. What are those that are important but not urgent for today and can be scheduled or rescheduled? What can you delegate? What can you delete, ignore, or eliminate? I hope that through this you've seen that on the one hand, prioritizing is important, not just as a process, but as something that gives you clarity, focus, energy, and points you in a direction which you are in control of. And then you can drive forward in your leadership success because you are clearer, much more focused, and much more productive. I hope that this video has spoken to you. If it has, then please feel free to like, comment, and share, and also subscribe to the video. And we'll come back to you with some more videos in due course. Thank you.